So it turns out I made a bit of a mistake when I installed this cab frame on the killer toy top. You can see right there, there's daylight coming through. And actually, yeah, we get a little bit of water leaking that when it rains, it comes off the roof of the cab and then runs down inside there. So when I installed this, I did put some weather stripping up there. It was only the stuff I had used on the side, so it was only 1/4 inch thick. And you can see the gap there is more like 3/4 inch. It's not bad on the sides here. I guess when I installed the Kayline top, the Kayline frame, I think it fits up against the back of the cab, and it had weather stripping on the back side of the frame. So it was more of like a piece of angle that fit up there. And there was weather stripping that contacted this surface. So you didn't need to, and I think the instructions maybe even said to remove the factory gasket that was up there. Since I had installed that top well over 20 years ago, I completely forgot about the fact that there was a gasket. And when I went and reread the instructions, they were talking about a seal. And it's like, what seal are they talking about? And it turns out they're talking about this. So that's the factory gasket. I had put that on up with my hard top that I have hanging up in the garage. So what I've got to do is pull the sides off and then remove the top fabric, take out the 5 bolts that hold the cab frame in place. Yes, I was using this Gorilla Clear Grip contact adhesive for this, and so you apply that to both surfaces. I applied it to the rubber gasket and then to the edge of the cab here, and it's pretty much dry. You're supposed to wait at like a couple of minutes from application to pulling it down, and then yeah, just work it around here, keep it up tight to the back of the cab. There's sort of a lip on here. And then, yeah, I can just stretch it to fit right up against the frame there. I think that'll do it. Yeah, I just did it like in 3 steps. I did the top of the cab first. I just marked a center mark and ran it to the edge and then down. It's got like a filler in the corners there. The biggest gap is in the corner, so this is filled. There must be some foam rubber in there. And then the rest of this thing is hollow. I think now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fool around with this wire loom in there, see if I can get that run. It's a lot easier to get to that right now. I can stand up and look in there and get my head up in there and see what's going on. Okay, there we've got the cab frame back on, and I got my wire loom run in here. I've got the main cable for the backup camera, and then I also ran a second 8 conductor Cat 5 cable up there, so because I'll have the Raspberry Pi open auto system up there. And yeah, I got the headliner back in place. That's the first time that's been back in place for 20 plus years. So yeah, I'm gonna fold up the sides, put the top back on, and I think we're good to go. Yeah, so this was what took me forever, was getting the wire harness for the old backup camera out. I don't know how I got this thing in there. It's got so many wires versus the AutoVox V5pro. There's just one cable. I think it's got 8 conductors in it, but that's got all the signals. And this one is just amazing. Look at, I mean, all that wire ran from the mirror up there over and back. That shows you like 20 years of technology. This was probably around early 2000s vintage backup camera, and it needed all of this stuff versus the new one just has that cable. One cable, and then they're going to hook up a bunch of things down here, power ground. So I still have to hook those guys up. Hopefully it won't leak anything around the sides here now. Easy fix, and yeah, it was a good excuse to get those wires run into the back of the cab. I finally did them the right way now. So stay tuned. I'll hook up the backup camera wires and get that all hooked up at some point in time here. If you have any questions about that, SoftTop install or running some of these wires, post up in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.